Hello everyone. In our last session, we started functions in Python. We understood the definition, syntax, the difference between user-defined and built-in function. We also knew about parameter, arguments, types of parameter, difference between them, and we wrote a program on how to make a calculator. And we also understood that function is a data type. Now in today's class we will do the rest of the part related to function. Okay. Now first let me revise the function concept. We used def keyword, then a function name, then any parameters which are going to be used in the program. Later on a docstring which will explain about the function, and then a return keyword. Okay. Now let's understand some concept related to function. A function can be an input to another function. Here I have written a function, add function, multiply function, and here apply operation, which is taking function as a parameter. Now it is returning a function x comma y. So what will happen when I will be calling this result one equal to apply operation function will be called, and I am passing add as an input. So function will be add, x will be 3, y will be 4. Next it will return the add function, and 3 and 4 will become its parameter. So the concept is a bit tricky, but I will make it easy for you. Let me show you in Python tutor. See, first the function is defined. So you can see the function is defined. Next, multiply is defined. Now apply operation, defined, apply operation which is taking function as an input. Result one will call apply operation is called. What will happen? Function will be add. See, function is pointing to the add function. X will become 3, y will become 4. Return function xy. That means it will return function means add function is pointing to the add. So add will be returned, add function will be returned, and a will become 3, b will become 4. See, here you can see a is 3, b is 4. Now it will go to the add function. So add function is called a equal to 3, b equal to 4. It will return a plus b. It will return 7. Return value is 7. Now 7 is the return value. So 7 will be returned to the calling code. Now result will become 7. So print result means result will be printed. So this is the way we can send a function as an input. Now if I change this function to multiply, if I write multiply, what will happen? If I execute this, the multiplication will happen. So 3 into 4, 12. So this is the way you can write many functions. Like you can write def divide a comma b return a divide by b. Now what if I write here divide and I write 6 divided by 4. So what will be the output? 1.5. So a function can be an input to another function. Clear? Now understand a different concept. Now let me tell you what is a nested function. Nested means one function inside another function. Just like nested if else, nested for, nested while, same concept. Here I have written an outer function and I am printing something. Inside the outer function I have written another function where I am printing something else. Now what happens? First the outer function is called. So it will go to the outer function, it will be executed. It will not execute the inner function. Inner function is not called, then it will come out. Next line will be inner function. Now inner function is called, it will go to the inner function, it will be executed. Let me visualize it. It will make things clear. Look how it runs. First, outer function will be defined. Outer function is defined. But it will not be executed as it is not called. It will go to the line number 10. Here outer function is getting called, so it will again go back to the line number 1. Function is called, go to the next line. Hello, this is outer function, this is printed. Now it will go to the inner function and inner function will be defined, but it will not be executed. Inner function is defined. Now it will go to the line number 8. Here inner function is getting called, so it will now execute the inner function. So hello, I am inside. Now hello, I am inside will be printed. See, printed. Now it will come back to the calling code and again it will complete execution. Clear? So this is the way you can write one function inside another function, and that is what is known as nested function. Now we will understand this concept. This one is returning a function. How we can return a function. Let me show you. See here, I have first defined the outer function. Outer function is defined. Now add 5 equal to outer function. That is outer function is called, 5 is the argument. So x will become 5. X will become 5. Next, it will go to the next line. Define inner function is defined, but it will not execute. So inner function is defined. Inner function. Now return inner function. That means inner function will be returned. Return value will be the inner function. Now see, the function is returning a function. Now it will return to whom? It will return to add 5. So add 5. So add 5 is pointing to inner function right now. Add 5 is inner function now. Now result equal to add 5 3. That means add 5 3 is getting called. Add 5 3 means the inner function. So inner function is called. So it has come back to the inner function. Okay. Now what will happen? Y is the our parameter here. So y means here 3. X was 5. Here I saw x equal to 5. Now y has become 3. So return 5 plus 3. So it will return 8. Now what will happen? Return inner function means result will be 8. Clear? So what I am doing here, I am returning a function from another function. So a function can be returned also. Okay? So these are good concepts about function. First one is that you can send a function as an input to another function. Second one is you can return a function to another function. Okay, now tell me one thing, that is that return keyword necessary? Till now in every program we have used the return keyword, but is that necessary? Can I define anything, any function without using this return statement? Yes, we can do that. If I run this program, see, this function will return none. Why? Because here I have just defined the function and I have written result equal to do something. Function is getting called, the function is printing, and return statement is missing here. So it is not returning anything. So result will be none. So the return keyword is not a necessary thing. Without that also we can define a function. If we want, we can return anything. We can return 6. Okay. But if in your program you don't need to return anything, you can just simply avoid return statement. Clear? Now next concept is lambda function. What is a lambda function? Lambda means an anonymous function. Why anonymous? Because this function doesn't have its own name. Lambda keyword is used to define the function. We will take xy as input and the function will be the addition of these two numbers. So result add numbers 3, 5. That means x will become 3, y will become 5. 3 plus 5, that is 8. So it will add numbers will become 8 and the result will become 8. So this is just a simple syntax. Within a single line you can perform operations as per your choice. Okay. So this is the syntax. Lambda keyword, then the parameters, colon, and write the operations. Okay. Let's do another program using lambda. Suppose I want to check whether a number is even or not. So even equals to lambda keyword x x modulus of 2 equal to 0. If the remainder is 0, that is even. Now result equals to even pass any number 4. So what will happen? Let me print result. Print result. Now let me run it. See, this is true. Because 4 modulus of 2. So 0. So even will become true. So the result is true. That means 4 is even. So using a lambda function, you can write any functions within a single statement. This is going to be very beneficial while doing data science related projects. Okay. Okay. Now see this one. Here created is a function n parameter. It is returning the lambda function. So what will happen when add5 equal to create_, function is called and it is returning this function. And this function will be returned to the add5. Now result equal to add5 means result is the lambda function which is passing 3 arguments. Let me visualize this for you. See, create_, function will be created. Now add5 equal to create_5. Create_, function is getting called. N will become 5. Now it will return the lambda function. Lambda function will be returned to add5. See, the return value is the lambda function and add5 will contain lambda function. Okay. Now what will happen? Now result equal to add5 3. That means lambda function is getting called now. So it will go to this lambda function. And what is that lambda function is doing? It is doing x equal to x plus n. Here x equal to 3 because I have given here 3. Here it has become 3 and n was 5. See here n was 5. So 3 plus 5 it will become 8 and it will return to the result. So it has become 8. Now print it. Result will be printed. Clear? I can do anything else. I can give 7. So it will print 5 plus 7. So I hope you understand how it is executing. First the function is defined. Next the function is getting called. When the function is getting called, it is returning the lambda function. It is not returning a single value. It is returning a function. And that function is stored in add5. Now when we are calling the add5, that means we are calling the lambda function. So it will go to the lambda function and it will perform accordingly. Okay. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now let's understand this concept. Args and quarks. Star args means when we are passing the number of arguments, it may not be fixed beforehand. It may change. It may be dynamic. For that, what we do while writing the function, we can write star args so that when function is called, it can take any number of arguments. I don't want to fix the value. I want to keep it flexible. That's why star args is used. So here what I have written in this function, simply total equal to 0 for num in R's, total equal to total plus num. That means all the numbers are added and stored to the total. This is just a for loop and it is returning the total value which will be stored in result and result will be printed. So here I don't need to write x comma y comma z comma a comma b comma c comma d. I don't need to write like that. Instead I can give a single star which will imply that any number of arguments can be passed. Clear? Now args is not a mandatory. I can write anything. If I write cocoa, here I write cocoa. See the same result. So this is just a convention args, but this is not mandatory that you have to write star args. The star is the special character which will make interpreter understand that any number of arguments can be passed. Okay. Okay. Now what about quarks? Quarks is a simple thing. Here instead of single star, we write double star because it is used for dictionary. That is for key value pairs. Now to use these key value pairs, we use double star. Concept is same. We don't know the number of arguments. But when it is a single argument, we use single star. When it is a key value pair, we use double star. And here also same concept. It is not necessary. I can write anything. I can write KWC or whatever you wish. This is just a simple convention that quarks is used. But basically, which matters is the single star and double star. Now, if I run it, it will show me as an output. Okay, so in this session, we have studied some concepts related to function. That means return function is not a necessary. A function can be an input to another function. A function can return another function, a nested function, and lambda function. Okay, so we have studied about all these concepts and about star args and double star quarks also. One thing is just left, that is scope of a function. I will make a separate video on that, and where I will explain and will do many programmings regarding the scope of a function. Till then, bye, happy learning.